Do you see it? You are live.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me share it.
That's what I'm doing too.
Share. Let me see.
Did you watch the Jill and Erica battle?
I did. How was it?
I enjoyed it. It was a whole vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Share now.
Whole vibe.
Okay.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Mm-mm. All right. Folk are coming slowly.
Come on in.
Come on.
We got some information.
That's right. Let's get it. Cool beans.
Okay.
All right, we'll go ahead and start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the moment. Lately, I've been having people from the higher ed circuit just come in and share that know a little information that can benefit our students, those that are interested in college, transferring, still in middle high school. There really is no age limit to the information that will be shared today. Your student does not, hey, Wayne, your student does not have to, be a senior to get this information. So parents that are out here, even if you're considering going back to school, some of these tips will be very helpful for you in your college choice as it relates to moving forward and furthering your education. So we have with us today my good friend from the good old hometown.
Listen.
We real country.
All the way.
You're a little further than me. I don't know if you're a little countryer because you're
Listen, right.
My good friend Antonio McFarland, he is here to share with us, especially his publication, his book. He is an author, but we're going to begin with, the basics. Tell us about you, school, your career record thus far. How did you get into it? All that good stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, so first we gotta give you props, and I gotta thank you for inviting me. You could have you got all these other dope people, but I definitely want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your space. So I'm excited, and like you said, we're from the same hometown, so we know the struggles, and we know how to give back and to pour in. So I get it. My name is Antonio McFarland, and I am a native of the Hartsville area of South Carolina, and whoop whoop, you went to Hartsville High. I went to Darlington High. Of course, it's a part of
Hartsville.
Oh no, you went to Mayo.
Yeah, but I didn't. I was still a rival. It's all good.
Gotcha. So yeah, so unlike myself, I was raised in a single parent home. I did not have the information in high school. I did not know the college admissions process. So when I was in 12th grade, 11th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade, I was just going to school and just trying to graduate. You know what I'm saying? And when I got to 12th grade, I really did not know what to do next. I didn't know, I didn't have the information like a lot of my classmates had.
Right.
They was on it. And so my GPA was, a 3.0. My ACT score was a 17. My SAT was an 800. So, I was an average student, but I still did not know the process. And so, I knew I didn't want to struggle. I knew I didn't want to go straight to work. And so, I knew, and I saw all of these friends of mine who were receiving college acceptance letters and all of these things. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know if they can get this accepted letter somewhere, let me try to navigate this process. And so I did a lot on my own. I really researched a lot of colleges on my own. I completed.
Year. You didn't start till your senior year?
I didn't start until my senior year. Yeah, I didn't start until my senior year. And so I researched, like I said, researched scholarships, and I researched colleges, and I saw this awesome opportunity at a school at Claflin University. And I went there. Whoop, whoop. Shameless plug, Claflin is in the top 10 HBCUs in the country.
I know some great Claflinites. It's all good.
Right. So, I went there, and going there changed my whole life. Like, it really changed my life. I knew that I could do certain things. I knew I could. I knew I had it, but I didn't know how to go about the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, with me being proactive and doing a lot on my own, I found a scholarship at Claflin. Went there, scared, nervous, and all. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go, and it literally changed the trajectory of my life.
Right.
And so I did my undergrad there. I have a master's in higher ed administration with a concentration in enrollment management. And I'm looking at some doctoral programs. So, it's just like, okay, let's go on and get it done. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been in the public schools. I worked in the public schools of Hartsville, South Carolina. I worked at Washington Street Elementary School for 5 years. And after those 5 years, I went into higher education. And this is my 14th year in higher education, all in admissions. So I had started at USC Sumter, which is a 2-year regional campus of the USC Sumter, did a couple of years there, and then took a job at USC Beaufort. And so I stayed there for a few years, and, and then I went back to my home of Claflin University, and I actually spent 8 years there, all the way up until February. And so I served as the assistant director of admissions there, and now I am serving a senior role at Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm excited to be there, and we're just excited about where my life is leading, and what this book has exposed me to, and how the doors that of opportunities that it has opened up. So yeah, that's pretty much my my time span of admissions. But all of my admissions experience been rewarding. Just to really every school I've worked to has been a rewarding experience, because I get to really help students realize the power of education. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And what that can open up and
Isn't it
lead to.
rewarding though? Like to
But man, it's almost like, but I know students that I've taken, well, picked up from the Greyhound.
come
You
on,
hear me?
come on.
Nothing but duffel bags, and to
Yes.
see where they are now. I'm talking about working at Fortune 500 companies, doing internships, studying abroad. I'll never forget. We have this collaboration. Well, Claflin has this collaboration with the DC public schools, and as a result of that, we will go and pick up the students for the summer to come for a summer program, and man, just to see where they were
Mm-hmm.
and what they've been able to be exposed to
Right.
and what they're doing now is rewarding. And to see that they graduate and they get it, and they're not afraid to leave their comfort zone, they're not afraid to leave their environment and to go off to college.
All they need is that
Man,
open mind. That's all they need is that open mind.
right. So it's rewarding, man. It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I've been watching, via Facebook, you doing a lot of great things, and I knew admissions has been your life.
Yes.
When you decided to shift on to the ATL, I said, "Oh, it's getting real big now. Come on."
Listen, it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse, and I'm just really thankful for the experience that I had at Claflin. Claflin really laid the foundation, even in undergrad,
Right.
and that's why I tell students it's so important to find a school where you fit.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Find a school where you really believe that the professors care about you,
Mhm.
and that you believe that they have the resources that you need so that you can have the tools to be ready for a global world.
Right. So
You know what I'm saying?
really expound on fits, because some people don't understand when we say, find a school that's a fit, that has your niche, what works for you, because each campus has a different vibe.
Right, right. And just because your friends are going to the big school does not mean that you are a fit for the
Right.
big school. And I think there's so many factors students need to consider in choosing a school. I think they don't consider. I think some students go for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It baffles me. Of course, they want to know, do they have fraternities and sororities? Is this a party school? Are the girls there? What's the,
Man, let me tell
you
you.
know,
Wait a minute. Incoming student, they're on Twitter. It's like, yeah, I need somebody to tell what the girls look like down there at Fort Valley before I get there. I'm
right,
like, what?
right, like, it's crazy. And I think students, this is why we have these spaces to really help students understand it's more than going to a school where your mama went or your daddy went.
Right.
That may not be the school for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That may not be the best fit school for you. You have to really navigate this process and find a school where you really believe is a good fit for you, and you believe that you're going to leave marketable. You know what I'm saying? You have to leave marketable. You have to leave not only marketable, we want you to so stand out when you leave that college that employers will flock to you. You know what I'm saying? Will really see that you have it, that you have all of these experiences, studying abroad, internships,
yeah.
not just going home during the summer. And we talking about really
all of that. Employers are looking at every aspect of that.
Everything. And that's just like high school. Colleges, every college has requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at your transcript. We're looking at your resume. You know what I'm saying? And colleges are looking for well-rounded students. They're looking for, have you really participated in anything? Have you joined any organizations? Did you volunteer? They're looking at a well-rounded student. They're just not looking at your grades. Yes, grades are important. Don't get that wrong. Listen,
well-rounded.
I tell well-rounded. and I tell students all the time, your transcript is your life. If you don't have a full-time job while in ninth through 12th grade, your high school should be your main priority. Getting your academics should be your main priority. So, unless you got a full-time job, you got major responsibilities, you should be trying to make certain that every class is important to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to factor in your GPA. And when you get into the ninth grade, you're going in with a straight 4.0.
That's it.
Period. However, it's what you do from 9th through 12th grade that's going to determine whether or not your GPA stay up there. So I tell students now, it's okay to ask for questions. Ask questions. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to really, join organizations, because we want you to be well balanced. We want you to be well rounded. But we want you to really do what you need to do in high school so that colleges can run after you when it's time for you to graduate. So, yeah.
So as a part of that application process, can you share the importance of them really taking the time to write the entrance essay that some applications may require? Like, why?
Right. Well, most colleges require you to have, write an essay or personal statement. Some colleges say, hey, we just send us your transcript and test scores. So it really varies. But if they're writing their personal statement, some colleges give you a list of options to choose from to write about. Or they say, okay, write a personal statement about you and your career aspirations. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Colleges are going, you have admissions committees who are sitting around tables reading your essay, your personal statement. And it's very important that you really take that serious, because I know some admissions professionals, if your personal statement looked like you wrote it in the third grade, it's going in. They're not even going to consider you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really take that serious in really making certain that every sentence counts and it speaks to who you are. It speaks to what you're trying to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. Very, very important.
Yeah, got to be sure to answer the question.
And you got to be.
So let's move on into your project. There's a lot of goodies in here.
Whoop, whoop.
A lot of goodies in here. You kind of touched on it, but let's go back into what made you want to write this. Like, when did the aha moment happen?
Right.
How long was the process? Was it something that nagging you to, like, all right, Antonio, I'm not going to tell you no more?
Right. So, working at USC Sumter, which is a 2-year regional campus, meaning, even though they have some 4-year degrees, it's a 2-year campus where you can actually transition into the University of South Carolina Columbia campus or any of the other 4-year campuses. However, USC Sumter allowed me so we only recruited in the county, certain counties, to USC Sumter. So one of the tactics in recruiting the students to come to USC Sumter, we will go into those counties that we serve and we would do college planning seminars. And so it was one of those things where we were helping the student and the school, but we were also using it as a recruiting tool. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hand in hand thing. So most of the classes were English senior classes. And so I would go into them and present about college planning. I will also go in and talk about how important it is to prepare and all of this stuff, and then of course we would talk about USC Sumter.
Right.
And just to see so many students in that area not know, and these are seniors, not know the process, not know that what ACT or SAT is, not know, that you just don't apply to school and move in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a process. There are things.
It's kind of like you're helping the individuals to the point where you started, where you had to do it all on your own and figure
Right.
it out.
So I saw myself. You know what I'm saying? I saw myself in so many of the students, and I'll never forget. I was in this English class, and the teacher, her name is Miss Johnson, who one of the acknowledgments is in this book. And she, after I finished the presentation, she was like, "Yo, you need to write a book. Like, seriously, you need to write a book." And I never thought about writing a book. And I was like, nah. So another year passed, you know what I'm saying? And she was still there. And I would love to go to her class because she was an awesome English teacher. Went back to her. She said, "I done told you. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. They love you. They haven't, you have their attention. Right. You're connecting with them. They're listening. They get it." So I was like, you know what? Let me put some things together here. So I put it. It took me 4 years. It took me 4.5 years to gather materials, and it took me 4 years to really see how I wanted this to speak to the student. Right. And not only the student, but parents. You know what I'm saying? So I did a lot of research. I would spend hours at bookstores looking at other college planning material. You know what I'm saying? And so this book, it is special to me because not only I saw myself in a lot of the students, but I wanted it to speak to students like me, right, who did not have a clue about the process, who didn't have all the information. And believe it or not, this book is saving so many students time, and it's a guide. It's a nice college is possible. And I created the title simply because I wanted students to understand that even though they may not feel that people are backing them or people are encouraging them to go forth or do better or go farther than 12th grade, even if they don't think that college is for them, it's still possible to go. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's still possible to find schools that have counseling in special needs area. Mm-hmm. There's still schools that have all the resources to make certain that you not only get there, but you graduate. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? This does not just speak to 4-year schools. It's education across the board. Right. Right. So college is possible. It can be obtained. You can graduate. You can go off and do some amazing things. But there's some things you have to do in high school in preparing to go. And if you want to go for free, it's possible too. But you can't just think that, it's not a handout. It's not a hand me. I don't know. Most successful people, unless they inherited success, you know what I'm saying? Meaning they had money or their parents had money. Everybody I know worked hard to get where they are. You know what I'm saying? They persevered, even though things came up, even though they had obstacles. Even in high school, you got high school students who are raising themselves. You know what I'm saying? But they're persevering. Yeah. They're working hard because they want better for themselves. So, it's possible. You just have to really do things now so that you can be prepared to get where you want to go. Everybody have goals and dreams, or should, but it's only when you take the initiative to get it done and set your goals to get it accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I wrote this, and I'm so excited, man. I'm so, I'm a country boy. God knows I'm just excited at the possibilities and the opportunities this book has led and opened for so many students. Right. You have school districts that are purchasing this book to be used as a curriculum for their students. You have gear up programs. You have youth ministries, youth organizations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like
we got to get you in
blown
every
away.
district.
Hey,
district.
I'm believing it. I'm believing it. You know. So yeah.
I love it. The fact it's the planning guide. Now you have a lot of great material in here, even room for them to write notes and things that they may have. You kind of touched on it, but
Okay.
like the question about what should they be considering when they're looking for colleges.
Okay, right. So you know, there's so many colleges out there. You know, you have your 2-year colleges, you have your technical community colleges, you have your private colleges, your public colleges. So there's so many colleges out there, and when you're navigating the college admissions process, there are things you have to consider even before you submit that enrollment fee, because majority of them are non-refundable.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't come calling me talking about you change your mind. You may have changed your mind, but you're not getting your money back. So, you know, you have to really, before you say that's the school where I'm going to go, you have to do some things to really, before you consider that school. You know, do you want to go to a large school, small school? Do you want to go to a school where it's a 20,000 students? Or do you want to go to a smaller school? I tell students all the time, you know yourself far better than anybody else. If you know you can't navigate in a large classroom of 50 students or 40 students, you know good and well you're not going to function in 100 plus. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be real with yourself. If you need a smaller school where the professors get to know you and get to really build a personal relationship with you after, you know, because a lot of big schools, you know, you're a number, and nothing wrong with going to the big schools, but you have to know that you can do that. You can navigate a big school. Nothing's wrong with it, but you listen. So that's a factor. Cost is a factor. You got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And how are you going to pay for it? You know, there's so much funding out there, and there's so many scholarships out there. But how do you apply for those scholarships, and how do you apply for them effectively? You know what I'm saying? How do you go about researching those scholarships? So funding, cost is a factor. You know, seeing if the school, doing campus visits, seeing if the school is really the school for you. Because I've been, this is 14 years in the game for me.
I have a question about it. Go ahead.
This is 14 years in the game for me, and there's a lot of colleges, believe it or not, who all of these, you know, students have to go to college fairs, and all of these marketing materials that make the school look so great.
All the tickets.
I mean, just nice, building so nice in Photoshop. You know, but when you go to the campus, it's not what you saw in the, you know what I'm saying? So you have to visit, and you have to really see if this environment is good for you, if this is a school where you believe that you belong. You know what I'm saying? And so those are all factors. And so you gotta, this book is really, it speaks to them on really finding a school where they fit, right, and what those factors are in choosing a school, and not just choosing a school just because everybody else going there, or just because, you know, my daddy graduated from there, or, you know, just because, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, but really finding a school where you fit.
So one thing that I see a lot, you know, when it comes to school choice, students know, okay, high school graduation, next move college. And they're just going to college. Then when they put down a major, they're putting down a major that the school doesn't even have. Lets us further know you have not done your research, and you're just putting down what comes to mind. And
Right.
Here you are wasting time. If this really is what you want to do, most times, which is why we want to try to catch them early, hopefully with your path and then my path, catch them early, let's figure out what it is that you want to do so that you're not wasting time. Because if they get into an institution, the likelihood of them transferring to go to where they thought they wanted to go is not there. They're going to try to find a major where they are that works with them, that might not have enough math or only one foreign language. So they're adjusting their decisions based off what they don't or do feel like doing.
And you know, and not only wasting time, but wasting money.
Money, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You are not transferring anywhere because they already here. They got that bill rolling. They're just going to say, find something.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, it's you have to. That's why I tell students all the time, you have to be on your A game. You have you have to, like you said, research those schools. Do they have your major? Is the school accredited?
All of it.
All of that. You know what I'm saying? What the students are doing, what are the students that are already there? What are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Where are they going? What type of jobs that the students are getting as a result of choosing that school? You know what I'm saying? Those are questions you want to ask. You don't want to just hear knowledge from what people tell you. You have to really be proactive in researching and doing it for yourself, because I'm telling you, there are recruiters out there, they just want you to come. they'll tell you anything.
Meeting numbers.
Listen, and so you have to go back home, and you have read those pamphlets, read those brochures, see if they have your major, but also go on the website, see if they got student blogs on there, see if you can talk to that admissions counselor, see who your counselor is. You know what I'm saying? Call them, ask them questions.
This time, most institutions, the admissions office got an Instagram or something on social media, SGA.
Listen, especially because of how everybody is working virtually.
Right.
Now more than ever, they're using Zoom, they're using Facebook Live, they're using Instagram Live, they're doing anything to connect with the student. You know what I'm saying?
College presidents get social media now that we're in this.
Right. You got to get with the times. You got to go with it. You got to catch the student where they are now, because you know they can't come on campus right now and do a campus visit. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing virtual tours and all this other stuff. So yeah.
So speaking of campus visits, how can a student maximize their time in a visit? Like, what should they be doing? What should they be asking? How do they?
So I in the book I have like questions they should ask. In the book, you know, I like because I've been in the game for 14 years, I know a prepared student. You know what I'm saying? They have the questions they asking. They're not going with the flow. They are attentive. They know
and intentional.
Right. So, you know, when you get there, go with a folder, go with your questions, go with you know, you have to show them, because again, you just never know. I could be ready to give you some scholarship money just because you own your A game. You know what I'm saying? Just because at Claflin, man, there will be students that will come and will be so on point. They will come with their transcript, come with their official transcript and test scores, and ready, just prepared. And hey, we'll give you a decision today. And not only give you a decision today, we can give you some money before you leave to go back home. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know what the college is going to, you know, be ready to give you if you're well put together and you look like you really know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
That part. Okay, so we already mentioned that we are in the season of COVID.
Yes.
So what does a student going to college in the fall in this season, what do you think it looks like for them? Like, how should they prepare when they know many are planning for the ultimate college experience?
Right.
So it may start off a little shaky, you know?
So, you know, with what's going on, there's a lot of colleges right now with task forces that they're trying to see whether or not it's even safe for for them to return. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't return, how will that affect the enrollment? How will that affect the budget? You know what I'm saying? And so you have colleges throughout this country that are gathering. I just read, I think our good friend Mr. Woodson posted something that Florida State is gearing and preparing for students to arrive on campus. So you have students, you have colleges right now trying to really make certain that the colleges are clean, safe. How will the classes be even more smaller because you got to be 6 feet apart? You know what I'm saying? Will that increase the number of professors on campus? If they don't come back for the fall semester, are you really prepared for online learning? You know what I'm saying? And so there's so many conversations going on, and I really hope that colleges are getting prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Getting prepared for, some colleges are even considering just allowing the freshmen to come on campus and the upperclassmen just be fully online. So, you know, a lot of colleges are just like putting their heads together, talking to administration, and just keep people on campus to see how we can better prepare ourselves for this COVID-19, man. I mean, we're still working from home. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know when we're going back right now, but we're now still trying to effectively recruit for the fall. You know what I'm saying? And stay in touch with our students who've already confirmed that they're coming to us. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't come to the campus, that means your housing staff, what they're gonna do? The CAF staff, what they're gonna do?
It's a lot.
You know, so it's a lot of things that are going on, and I think we have. They're going to be prepared for it. I really believe colleges right now are working with the board of trustees and working with the task forces to really see what is going to be the best effective way to still be in existence, but also still run a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we have to commend the leaders because they really having to do a whole little.
That's it. I mean, kudos to all of the presidents.
Knowing that you are in enrollment, admissions, and such, has your communication plan had to beef up a little bit since we're in this situation? They can't.
Absolutely. Like, you know, we have really been strategic on how we communicate with our students and how we, you know, beef up our virtual game. You know what I'm saying?
Creativity pushed.
Listen, we're having virtual tours. Like, we had to create a whole virtual, a really professional virtual tour. We're having student ambassadors do Instagram takeovers and Facebook takeovers just to really keep keeps the students in the forefront of them, you know, of us, because we don't want to lose them.
Right.
And we don't want them to, you know, go elsewhere. A lot of colleges, you know, are really being strategic, and we're definitely doing that. I mean, we're on target. I'm very pleased to say we are on target, and I'm grateful. And I have an amazing team who are working hard. I talk to them almost every day, and they are super dope, man. The recruiters they are dope. I'm so happy to be a part of a team that really gets it, but also they are really they're here, they get it, and they are willing to really connect with the student. We're having financial aid virtual sessions. I'm trying to get the president to come on and do a Zoom session just with the president. Yeah. So, you know, there's so many other we're trying to be creative because, again, anything can lose a student, and you know,
and that's I won't say it's just a word with Black colleges, but I know it's probably going to hit Black colleges harder for the fall if we aren't returning fully on the campus. There may be students that feel, well, I can just stay home and go to school here because I was really going to college for this particular experience. So
Mm-hmm.
those are just components that we have to consider and really prepare for if they are coming to campus. Every precaution has to be made from the classroom to dining to living to if something does happen, if there is a breakout of some sort.
Right, right.
It's going to look totally different.
It is. This the new norm. You know what I'm saying? It's it's almost like we were not expecting this, but it's here now.
Mhm.
And how can we effectively deal with what we're dealing with? You know what I'm saying? We're living in the new norm, and it's 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 something that you got to really be prepared for. And I really hope that our HBCUs are and I believe they
Mhm.
are really preparing for the fall semester and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the future of the students on campus, because it's definitely going to be different, and how this COVID-19 has shifted all of our minds. It's just like wow. But
It,
we're built for this. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, even especially HBCUs. If you survive, if you graduate from an HBCU,
you built
man, you've been built for it.
you built for
You've been you've been built to survive. You've been built to really overcome. You know what I'm saying? Challenges is they're nothing
it's the class
to
that's not listed in your catalog. You will be built.
right, right.
Foundation, strong foundation. So yeah, I love the book. I love
Yay!
how it's such an easy read and easy follow,
Thank you.
and that's what makes it all the more greater because it's what our students need. And you say you want to
Thank you
speak
so
to us,
much.
this should speak to us and others, but us
Right,
especially because the guidance is not always there. It's not
right.
always there. I love the fact that you have these extra resources, but my favorite part is the glossary.
Look,
It
I'm telling you,
is
listen, I'm telling you, I was like, I am going to make certain that this speaks to the student. I wanted to, even with tips from other higher administration admissions professionals.
Mhm.
I surveyed, I asked questions, and I asked, okay, can I put this in my book? You know what I'm saying? What would you want to give advice to that student? Or even with students, I surveyed students. What would you want to um, tell the high schooler?
Right.
What and so all of that is in the book.
When they come to your campus, when they come to our campus, we just be shouting out all the acronyms. These people don't know. They have
Right.
no idea. So that is like my favorite part. I did a presentation for NASAP one year, and I talked about the language barrier. Like they need to be educated on these things prior. So thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Listen, I want this glossary is a lifesaver, man, because even for parents, you know what I'm saying? Students who are first gen, just people who just don't know the college process, they can look at this glossary and be like, okay, what is in-state tuition? What is legacy? What is GPA?
Federal
What is merit scholarships? What is all of this? So I wanted it to speak to the students, man. I really did. And this
what you did, and I am so proud. I am.
oh
I am.
listen, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your success.
Thank you.
Man, you are definitely a testament of hard work, perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Listen, you I love giving back to my community. It's nothing like going back to Hartsville, Darlington, and just saying, "Hey, I made it. You can too." You know what I'm saying? And it just gives you a great feeling to be able to know somebody else like you and I mean, just so many of us who are doing it big, and I'm just grateful to
It's
know that.
when we were sharing the promo. Y'all know each other. Y'all know each other. Oh, I love
Right.
Antonio. I kept getting. I love Antonio. He's the sweetest. I'm like, yeah, it's a very sweet girl. Everyone is connected, whether we realize it or not.
Right, right, and that's a good, and even with the HBCU world, and even with students who don't attend an HBCU, you have to build those relationships, lifelong relationships. You know, you just never know who is sitting in your classroom. They could be the next Barack. They could be the next Oprah. You know what I'm saying? So you have to foster those relationships because you just never know, and you may need something from them. You know what I'm saying? They may have that job opportunity for you.
And you just gotta ask.
You gotta ask. You gotta build those connections and network.
The power of networking. That's real. So to wrap up, any last spiel, talk college as possible, your last little spiel that you have, and tell us where we can find it, where we can get it.
Okay, so my book is available on Amazon. It's on my It's available on my website at www.antoniomcfarland.com. And it's it's a easy read. It's tons of great information, and I'm just super excited because this book is allowing students to really stay on track. And I'm grateful that God has given me the ability to even just be in this space. You know what I'm saying? I get to travel all over the country, helping students understand the power of education.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I get to do what I love, and I get to do it with such passion because I know I see so many students that look like me. You know what I'm saying? And so I speak all over the country. All of that is on my website. I mean, I'm a country boy.
Listen. Give us a website. I get the whole speaking. Like people are like, oh, you just travel so much doing this, doing that. I said, I mean, it's not really work for me. This is love. This is passion. I don't mind going. I don't.
Right. It's so all of that, it's on my website, man. And I'm working on my next book, and I'm just like I'm just maximizing this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And to every student that's out there that's listening to us, we believe in you. You know what I'm saying? We believe that wherever you are, it does not determine where you could be.
That's right.
If you work hard, if you persevere, if you set your goals, anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? If we can be in this space, so can you. You know what I'm saying? If Miss Cranford, that's what your students call you. What they call you?
Miss Cranford.
Miss Cranford. if Miss Cranford can be in a doctoral program, you understand? So can you. And so I want students to understand that they too can be whatever. They can too do big things, and they too can not only dream but make certain their dreams can become a reality. You know what I'm saying? I'm just super excited about the future of the student. If they plan now, they can go to school. They can go for little or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to encourage. I really want to encourage the student that's listening. Hey, you may have no parents in the household. You may be raising yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you can persevere. You can beat the odds because you deserve this space. If you're graduating, I want every student to understand, you're going to college for a purpose. You deserve to be there. You're supposed to be there. And we don't want you to come back without a degree. You understand what I'm saying? We want you to go there, do what you need to do so that you can leave and be successful. To every student out there that are even in middle school, it's never too early to think about college, to think about life after high school. You know what I'm saying? It's never too early to dream. You know what I'm saying? And to set your goals. So I want to thank you, Miss McFarland. I want to thank you for giving me this space, this opportunity, because this is so far bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? We have people that are connected to us, that are that need us. You know what I'm saying? And so you got your college babies. I got my high school babies trying to get into college. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm passing them to you. You have at it. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. I can be reached on my Facebook page. My public page is Antonio McFarland.m.edu. And my website again is www.antoniomcfarland.com. And that's it. That's all I got.
You gave your social media handle, Instagram?
Oh, Instagram is #1 Antonio McFarland. That's the #1 Antonio McFarland.
Again, where can you find the book one last time?
You can find it on my website. You can find it on Amazon, and you should be able to find it in the next couple of weeks on Barnes and Nobles as well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Man, I thank you so much. This has been good.
It has been good. It's been real good. We got to do this again very soon.
We must. Maybe
all right.
Side. But
I know, right?
So much. This has been grand. I will continue to share your information. So hopefully those that can't get to you, they'll get to me, and I just pass it on over to you.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Help a soul. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to end the live now and close out on our own. So y'all be great. Thank you so much. Be blessed.